Nobody in Dallas woke up expecting to hear this. Nobody in the league expected this headline. And nobody around the Cowboys organization was emotionally prepared for the words that came out Thursday morning. Cowboys defensive end Marshawn Kneeland, 24 years old, dead, from what police describe as an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. 1 week he's recovering a blocked punt for a touchdown. 4 days later he's gone forever. This is the kind of news that stops a franchise in its tracks, and you can feel the shock ripple through the NFL. The statement from the Cowboys didn't mention the cause of death. It didn't have to. That part already came from law enforcement, and the moment that detail hit social media, it was like the internet went quiet. People stared at the phone screen longer. Fans, teammates, players around the league. Nobody had the right sentence to post. Because Marshawn Kneeland wasn't some household superstar with a 10-year history of headlines. He was a young player, just beginning his NFL story. And that almost makes it worse. Because you can't point to a long career, a long trail of drama, or a long list of warning signs. It feels like his NFL life barely got time to exist. And what makes this even heavier? The timeline. According to law enforcement, the incident started when a vehicle evaded troopers Wednesday night. DPS tracked it into Frisco, Texas. Kneeland's vehicle crashed near Dallas Parkway, and he ran on foot. Officers searched for hours. K-9 units, drones, everything. And eventually, Marshawn was found with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Police noted in their report that during the search they received information that Marshawn had expressed suicidal ideations. That means somebody close to the situation had told officers he was talking about harming himself. And in that window of time, those hours, whatever pain he was in, it overtook him. It is impossible to truly know what someone is battling internally. It is impossible to truly know what led to that moment. But that single detail, that he expressed suicidal thoughts in those hours, forces every teammate, every coach, every fan to ask the same silent question. What was happening inside him that nobody on the outside could see? His agent broke down publicly. Jonathan Persley said, "This is a pain I can hardly put into words." And that line alone shows what he meant to the people around him. Kneeland wasn't just a player, not just a draft pick, not just a second-round defensive end. He was someone that people around him knew as a fighter, a kid who fought from Western Michigan to the NFL to prove himself. Every single snap, every single practice, every single moment on the field. This is not the kind of death that feels abstract. This feels close. Because football fans watched him last week, score the Cowboys' first touchdown of the game. He jumped on that blocked punt in the end zone and Cowboys fans were screaming his name. His life looked like momentum. And now we're looking at a police statement saying he's gone. The Cowboys are on their bye week right now. That means the locker room isn't even together today. That means players woke up in their separate homes, in their separate lives, and saw that headline alone. And some of those teammates probably texted him recently. Some probably joked with him after the blocked punt TD. And now, they're sitting at home trying to make sense of a reality that doesn't fit into any normal space. The Cowboys say counseling resources are now available for players and staff. And you can imagine why. Because this kind of loss isn't something you process in one meeting, especially when it's self-inflicted, especially when a young player who should be thinking about next season instead saw no path forward. The NFL issued a statement too, deeply saddened, offering support. But even the league, which deals with injuries, retirements, contract drama, is not built for a headline like this. They're built for business. They're not built for this level of heartbreak. Look at his college coach, Lance Taylor. He said his heart is absolutely broken, and that Kneeland wasn't just a great football player. He was a remarkable young man. Coaches see the version of players the public never sees. They see him sweating in empty practice fields. They see him exhausted but still smiling in film rooms. They see the kid, not the stat line. When a coach writes words like that, it tells you how big of a void this leaves behind. And suddenly, every highlight from Western Michigan hits different. Because this was a player who set records, tackles, sacks, impact plays, who worked for everything, who earned every inch. He was a second-team All-MAC, and his path to the NFL wasn't hype. It was production. But the NFL doesn't protect anyone from internal struggle. This is not the first time the Cowboys have faced in-season tragedy. In 2012, Jerry Brown died in a car wreck. In 2020, strength coach Marcus Paul passed away before a game. But this one hits differently. Because this wasn't an accident. This wasn't health. This was a choice made in darkness. A split moment where pain outran possibility. There will be questions, and most of them will have no answer. What was he going through? What conversations were happening behind closed doors? Did teammates or coaches see something subtle they didn't realize was a sign? Could anything have stopped this? Those are the questions that haunt every tragedy like this. And then, across the league, a totally different storyline was breaking at the same time. The Jets. Quincy Williams. Losing his starting job. Losing his role. Watching his brother get traded. Rumors swirling. Frustration building. That locker room in New York is dealing with chaos, shock, drastic change. But they are still dealing with football problems. Dallas woke up dealing with death. Quincy Williams is mad at the coaches. The Jets' locker room is stunned by trades. Sauce Gardner is gone. Quinnen Williams is gone. The fan base is in disbelief. But all of that noise, looks tiny compared to what Dallas is going through today. Because drama can resolve. Trades can adjust. Benches can reverse. Coaches can change roles. That's football. This is final. There is no next snap. There is no bounce-back game. There is no second chance Sunday. This is it. And maybe that's the real lesson inside this story. The NFL world moves at lightning speed. One day, you're a second-round pick returning a blocked punt in the end zone. Fans cheering your name. Coaches predicting your potential. Analysts talking about next season. The world feels wide open. Future feels endless. And then, quietly, internally, something shifts. Something breaks. Something hurts more than anyone else can see. And the person inside that helmet decides they cannot continue. So today, before the highlight reels, before the draft boards, before the fantasy stats, we pause. We say his name with respect, Marshawn Kneeland. Years old, gone far, far too early. And if you're watching this right now, maybe take this as a reminder. Somebody around you might be struggling silently. Somebody might be hurting without ever posting it online. Check on people. Ask questions. Listen between the lines. The scoreboard isn't everything. Life is heavier than football.